We are in the last week of May and things are winding down. And I just wanted to show you all what I do as I go through a weekly setup, and especially at the end of the month, kind of a review, a wrap up, a last look at things that might need to be done that I can schedule into this last week. Basically, it is a May wrap up, and that's what we're doing today. If that sounds interesting to you, stay with me. Well, hi everyone, this is Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And as I reflect on the end of May, I go back to my teacher days, and I know that May was always chaotic. There were always concerts to go to, and graduations, and end of the year projects, and you name it, there were things to do in May. And as a teacher, my May days were, I remember thinking to myself, if I can just make it to Thursday, I'll be fine. Right? So since I have retired, it has been my goal to take May and slow down. So when you look at my calendar this year, you may say, this woman has nothing going on. That's exactly right. That's exactly how I want it to be. Anyway, what I wanted to do today is, as we are in this last week of May, I wanted to show you kind of a monthly review or a wrap up where I look back over the things that I've done, look at the things that still need to be done, show you how I use my customized tags, summary pages to figure out things that may have been misplaced or may have fallen through the cracks. I want to find all of those things and make sure that I get them on my schedule for this very last week of May. Okay? All right. So, again, as a retired teacher, being organized is something that I have always had to do in my job. And now I use OneNote to help me organize just about everything in my life. I really, really love it. And let me show you some of the things that I have been doing in May. Let's jump into it. All right, well, you can see here on my screen, let's make it a little bit bigger for you. You can see here on my screen, this is what I call my monthly dashboard. It is my landing page for the month. It is where I have all of the hard and fast appointments that I need to do or want to do listed here in this long calendar. And that's kind of something that I look at every week when I see what's coming up for the week ahead, okay? Like I said at the top of the video, we are now in this last week down here, week 5 of May, and we've just celebrated Memorial Day. And we are moving on to this upcoming weekend. We have a big yard sale at church. So that's really my focus for this week. There are drop-off nights. I have to be there to help with that on Thursday and Friday night. So I'm adding those things to my calendar. And I just made an appointment last night to have dinner with a friend of mine that I haven't seen in a while. So I want to put that on there as well. Okay. So this is kind of where I keep track of all of those hard and fast things. Okay. So then if I look at week 5, I'm going to be jumping from my weekly back to my dashboard and my inbox so that you see how I'm planning things. So this is kind of a bigger overview of the entire month. Then I can look back at week 5, and you see already down here on week 5, I already added that dinner appointment because I did that last night when I made the appointment, okay? And you see I have the yard sale there, I have the drop-off things there, and today we are filming. That's what's happening on Wednesday. Yesterday was a big work-at-home day. I had lots of outdoor projects. It's been raining here for over a week, and so I was finally able to get outside and do some of the things that I needed to do outside of the house as well. And like I said, at the top we had Memorial Day. This Monday we celebrated Memorial Day. So again, thank you to all the service families who have lost loved ones in service to our country. We really honor those people, and especially on Memorial Day. So this is a place where I add things that need to happen during the week. This is kind of my weekly view. This layout is inspired by the Hobonichi Weeks layout. I have a video on how I created that if you would like to see it. But basically, I put all the things that I must get done in this first column, then tasks that I want to do. So you see here all the things that I had listed for yesterday, and then I have an area out here for notes as the week goes along. Okay? All right, and down at the bottom, I have my most important things for this week, and you can see that yard sale coming up is important. That is one of our big church's fundraisers, so that's there. And then also, I've been trying to finish up the campfire quilt project that I've been working on. I designed some extra star blocks to go in because how can you have a campfire and singing around the campfire without starlight? So I wanted to add to this pattern that I was supposed to be doing to see if I could follow directions. But of course, I'm doing my own thing because that's who I am. And I'm going to embrace that. So I'm going to put stars, maybe as a whole border around the whole campfire. We'll see how it goes. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing the quilt top when I'm finished with it. I've just been having a lot of fun playing around with the instructions that were given to me and then kind of making it my own, which is what I do with everything. All right. So let's see. Back to our dashboard. I need to now look at the home maintenance things and see what I have done and have not done. Okay. So replacing the AC filters, that is my husband's responsibility. So I do not have to do anything except put a reminder in his head. And without a doubt, it will be taken care of. Okay. Cleaning the washing machine and cleaning the dryer. Those are things that I need to put on my list. So I'm going to make a quick copy of those and I'm going to take those back to week 5 and I am going to add them down here for Thursday because that's kind of one of my chores to do on Thursday is things that are related to laundry. So I'm going to do that. Let's get rid of those little stars so they'll fit a little bit better. So clean the washing machine and clean the dryer. Okay. All right. Now let's go back. So that will take care of those two things. I will come back and highlight those when I have finished them. I will not do it just saying that I've moved them. I only do that when I have finished them. Okay. We have decided that we're going to leave the ticks alone in the yard this year. We're not going to spray anything for them. We've been having lots of flocks of wild turkeys come through the yard, so I'm hoping they are going to take care of the majority of those ticks, okay? It is not a 10-year cycle, so that we have to have the septic system cleaned, so we're good. So other than those two things, the washer and the dryer, I have finished all of my home maintenance tasks for this year. And if you want to learn a little bit more about how I have these home maintenance tasks listed here, I have a video on my home maintenance checklist, but I'll show you quickly. My home maintenance checklist is here, and I kind of have it broken down by every month and what needs to happen around the home, okay? And so that just kind of keeps me on track with all of those maintenance things. I also have the same kind of thing here for finance for May. And when I look at my finance tasks, I see there is only one thing here: shop around for better rates for car and home insurance. Now, that is something that is on my list and what I am planning to do. I may not get that finished this week, but I do want to start it because I do have an appointment already scheduled with my insurance agent to talk about some of the changes that have happened. You know, my husband retiring, my daughter's now off our insurance. So, you know, all of those kinds of things, you know, that should change our rates a little bit. So I'm going to put that down here for Friday as a task to do. Okay. And again, once that becomes completed, I will go back in and highlight that and, you know, make sure, check it off, make sure that I know that it's been done. Okay. The only holidays that we had, official holidays, in the month of May that we needed to do something for was Mother's Day. Our anniversary was kind of, I don't consider that a holiday, even though it's a personal holiday. So that all worked out fine. Okay. And then I see that I did have something that was down for a concert that was happening at a local venue, and so I had that here just in case I wanted to do that, okay? Then at the end of every month, as I'm wrapping things up and I'm looking for these weekly tasks, I do like to update my currently section, okay? So I'm still reading the book called Stay for a Spell, which is very cute. And I am also reading a Murder, She Wrote, which is a backstage murder. I am not currently listening to any audiobooks at the moment. I thought I might pick up the Jennifer Cheverini Quilter's book. I have it downloaded from the library, but I have not started that yet. I don't know if I'll get to it or not. We'll see. Let's see. I watched Highly Intelligent Creatures on Netflix. We watched another movie this last week called Marty, which is an old classic. That one was kind of good. And then what was the other movie that we watched? Oh, we watched Big, which cracks me up. It is such a funny movie. Podcasts. I've not really been listening to any podcasts either because I've been listening to the baseball games on the radio. So I'll put that down there instead. Okay. We've been eating strawberries a lot this month, and so on and so on and so on. So I like to kind of update this as I'm looking at those weekly plans. Okay. And then the next section over here is May in the garden. And again, in my long-term section over here, I have a garden list, very much like my home maintenance list. So these are the things that I need to look for to do in May. And then I have June and so on for every month of the year. Okay. This really helps keep me focused as to what needs to be done in the garden. If you would like to see a video about this, I have it. I'll list it up above for you. Really putting these things in place, these year-long maintenance things for the garden and the house and my finances and that kind of thing, that is really one way that I keep things very simple for me. I don't have to think, oh, what should I do out in the garden, for this month? It is already written down. I know which bushes I need to prune right after they flower. I know when it's time to start my tomatoes. I know all of that stuff because I have it written down and I don't have to think about it. And that is fantastic. Okay. All right. So you see here, I highlight things as they are done. So prune your azaleas after they bloom. I did that. Okay. After the last frost date, plant warm season annuals and tender bulbs. I did that. I finally got all of my coleus and all of that kind of thing planted. So I'm going to highlight that just like that. And I will add the highlighter. That means the annuals have been planted. Okay. I did not buy any new tender bulbs this year, but I leave that on there in case I do. Just because it's not highlighted doesn't mean that it's something that I miss doing. It's just a reminder for me if I had those tender bulbs that I should put them in now. Okay. Plant warm season vegetables like peppers and tomatoes. I put those in the ground this past weekend, so they are highlighted. Okay. New fruit plants. I didn't buy any new blueberries or strawberries or anything like that, so I'm good. Mow the grass. We did do our first mowing. Down to 3 inches. And let's see, the last one I have here is the hummingbird feeder. So they are back out. I am in the schedule of now making hummingbird food for them and keeping them clean. Okay. All right, so that's kind of my monthly dashboard, my monthly overview. And you can see that I pull any dates, any appointments that I have, any things that I still need to do back to my weekly to make sure that I get them done. Okay. All right, I always also have at the end of the month a pay bills section. So you see that sticker there. I think maybe in a previous video it was up here on Tuesday, but I moved it down to Thursday. That's one of the things that I love about, digital planning. You can be flexible and move things around to really suit your needs without having to, worry about erasing or, messing up your page or anything like that. Okay. All right. Now, the other thing that I like to do is I like to look at my inbox. And my inbox, for those of you who have been following me a long time, is a space where I dump everything. If I find a quilt pattern I like, I throw it in here. If I find a craft project I like, I throw it in here. If I hear about an event that's going on, I throw it in here. If I need a picture for something, I throw it in here. If I think of things that I need to buy or people I need to contact, I throw it in here. And then what I do at the beginning, when I'm planning my week, is I go in here. Let me zoom in so you can see it. These are all of my customized tags. And so you can see that I have action items, things I need to do at the computer, garden task, plant tomatoes with marigolds and basils. I did that this weekend, so I'm going to check that off. Film curriculum, I haven't done that yet. Film project management, I haven't done that yet, so I can't check those off. Church yard sale advertise, I did do that. Price items to take to the church, I have not done yet. I have a couple boxes sitting around here and there, and I found my price tags, but I haven't done that task yet, okay? And then I also put things in here, like I got a text from a friend. She had some dishes and pictures that she wanted to donate to the yard sale, so I went to pick those up. So they're in the back of my car ready to go, okay? I had to call and text people. BR, I did that, and guess what? We got a dinner appointment out of that, so I have an opportunity to see him and my sister, also to talk about how things went with her last craft sale. Okay, so you see, I use these different check boxes to call, errands, to buy, that kind of thing, so that I can categorize all of my to-dos without having this big jumbled mess. All I have to do is say, oh, I need to call somebody, give it that tag, and then it goes to the right place. Okay? Researching the new river trail, I have not done that yet. That's a trip that we're taking later this summer, so I have a little bit of time, but it's on my list so that I don't forget. Okay? And on and on and on with my customized tags. If you want to learn more about tags, there's a video for that. But I did want to show you quickly what the customized tags looks like with the tag summary that it will do for you, okay? So up here on your home menu, you have your customized tags, which are right here, okay? And I'll show you if I drop down this little arrow, here are all of my tags, and there's a space at the bottom that I can remove a tag, or I can customize a new tag or an existing tag if I would like to, okay? Next to that, there's a little button that says Find Tags, okay? And when you do Find Tags, it creates this tag summary, okay? And it says search, the search is now complete. I want to search by the tag name. You can do different options if you want to. You can search by, when they were created, all different kinds of ways, but I always search by tag name. Okay, and then I want to show only unchecked items. I don't want to see everything that I've completed at this point. I want to show only unchecked items. Now, if I had to fill out some kind of report about what are the 5 things that you've done this week, or how many garden tasks have you gotten done this week, I could uncheck that and it would show all of the things that I've done and everything that I've put a check mark on. And then I kind of get an overview of how I have actually spent my time, okay? Here it says at the computer, I'm supposed to make a complaint about the Chewy delivery. All right, well, if you don't remember what that's about, you can click on it and it will take you directly back to that page. So you see here on my February inbox, complain about the Chewy delivery. My problem with the Chewy delivery is not Chewy itself. They are a great company. They do a great job. My problem is that they always deliver with Federal Express. And Federal Express will pull into my driveway and they will take those big heavy boxes of dry cat food and cat litter and they will sit it on my driveway right behind my car. So when you go to get in the car, if you don't know that the delivery's been made, there's a good chance that you might run over the box. Or a woman my age might have more trouble getting it from the driveway into the house as opposed to it being put on the front porch, which is where it should be put, so that I could just drag it across the threshold into the house and open it from there, okay? That's my complaint about the Chewy delivery. Have I filled out that complaint yet? No, and it's been months, so will I do it? I don't know, but it's still on my list, okay? So that's what that is on my list for, at the computer to go on and tell Chewy about the delivery problem. All right, I'm rambling here, but here we go. Another action item that I have to do is I have a couple of boxes in the garage that my husband has asked me to clean out. Have I done them yet? No, that's why it's still unchecked, okay? If you go ahead and create something that has check boxes that aren't checked, then it will come up in your list as things to do, even though they may not be things to do. Okay, so you have to be careful about that. That's why when you see me create my inbox, the big items already have checks in them so that they're not counted multiple times. Okay, when you see something like call or text, again, if you're not sure what that is about, it will take you directly to that page to call this person about their health. I did that. They are feeling better. I'm checking that off. Okay. I can also check it off on here if I want to. That works just fine. Okay, so if I check it on here, you see it checks it on the screen. Okay, all right. Campfire quilt project, peace quilt for the pastor. Those are the two things that I'm working on, and so on and so on. So it gives me a really a good overview of all of the tasks that I might still need to do. Okay. Okay, so you get the idea of how a tag summary works, okay? It goes through your entire notebook and it finds anything that's not checked and it puts it in one list for you so that you have kind of a master list of things to do. I think that's pretty cool, okay? Then you get to pick and choose what you're actually going to do and what you're just going to defer or leave till later or not do at all because it's no longer important, okay? All right, so if I go back and look at my May inbox, I have all of my tags listed here and things that I need to do. Then I also have a list of other items or ideas that I've thought about. Now, this is something more that I do as part of my, cleanup of the month, but I will actually go in here and let's say this cute little tutorial on making these fabric tulips. Let's say that's something that I want to keep. What I will do is I simply will go in here and highlight this, and I can copy it if I want to. That's probably what I'll do here so I don't forget about it. And then I can go to its appropriate place. So in this case, I have a quilting and sewing notebook. So let's go over to my quilting notebook. This is the Around the Campfire project that I've been working on. And so you can see down here, I'm to the add borders part. If you look at my little checklist, I'm to add borders, and that's where I was talking about wanting to make stars to put around the borders. But here, what I can do is under patterns, I can go in here and add a new page, just like that, and I can paste that information in here, and I can call this Fabric Tulips. And now I have the information stored in a nice place where I'm not going to lose it, so that I can make this project if I want to. I've given it a title, created its new page, have the source for the video where it originally was found, and all of that works great. Okay? Then I can go back to 2026. If I want to delete this, I can, but I don't have to. Okay? Here's also a recipe for homemade pasta. This is something that I made with my brother-in-law. And again, I can make a copy of that. And then I can go to my recipe notebook. And that is right here. And I have all of these different sections across the top. Here is the pasta section, and I can add a new page, and I can put that in there, paste that in there, and I can call this handmade pasta. And then I can also write myself a note on the side. This is the recipe that Bill and I used at his house to make delicious pasta. Okay? And so then that way, I now have those keywords in there that it was something that I made with my brother-in-law, that it was handmade pasta, and that it was, that there's a recipe. So if I go to search for that, I will be able to find that. Okay? So let's go back to my life planner. So now that's been taken care of. If I wanted to, just to say that that is done or that it's been moved or transferred or something. Again, I could highlight that. Same with this, I could highlight that to show me I've already done something with that, so that when I look at the rest of the page, I know these are things that I have not done anything with yet, okay? Just to kind of make it simple. I'm not worried about making it pretty. I'm worried about making it functional and simple and easy to use for me, okay? All right. Now, one of the things that I love is, like I was talking about, was that search feature. So let's say I'm down here in week 5 and my daughter says to me, hey, Mom, this weekend, let's try that pasta recipe. Okay, so if I go up here to my search button, I can type in pasta, and you will see there's the handmade pasta page that I just created. There's a creamy pasta salad. There's a BLT pasta salad, and there's an Italian pasta salad. Okay, so those are all things that have the word pasta in the title of the page. Well, that handmade pasta is the one that I can check on and say, yep, that's the one that I made with Bill. That's the one that I want to try. Okay, so the search feature is absolutely amazing. If you look at all of these other items that are on here, the word pasta is somewhere on this page. So look how many times I've used pasta in my notebooks. Quite a few. Quite a few. Okay. And so it's nice that they have it broken down with that there's pasta in the title and then the body contents contain it. This body contents phrase, pasta is there, is part of the reason that I like to do these keywords right here. So that if I'm looking for something, I have a better chance of finding it. Okay? All right, so let's go back to 2026. And if I look at my inbox, there's nothing really that I need to do that's not already on my weekly tab. I already have getting the yard sale stuff together. I already have filming on there. Some of these other things that are here are, how to resize a quilt block. Well, that's what I'm working on because I'm trying to take a 6-inch star and bring it down to a 5-inch block. So I'm trying to think about all the math that's going to be involved in that. So that's what I've been using that information for. And then these were some things to think about, different places that I might want to visit. I heard about some state parks down in North Carolina. And so what I would like to do here is I would go up here and put a tag on those, and those might be things to research. Okay, so now I'm going to research that particular mountain trail, Crowder's Mountain Trail. If you've ever been to Crowder's Mountain, leave me a comment and let me know if it's a nice place to visit. I am always looking for fun, wonderful places to go. Okay, so now I have that as a research tag, and I know that that's something else that I want to do a little bit more research on. Okay, this item over here is a prayer shawl that a friend of mine asked me about. She asked me if I had a pattern to make a prayer shawl using one of the loom hoops using knitting. And so I found this one and I thought it looked really good. And so that's why I have it there. And again, I added some keywords, lacy prayer shawl with owl eye stitch. So I kind of have some keywords. If I'm looking for a prayer shawl, I'll know exactly. It'll come up on this page and I'll be able to find it. Okay. And when you search, all right, let me show you that. Let's go back, I don't know, just a year long, just so I'm somewhere else. And let me do prayer shawl. Okay, so when I type in prayer shawl, you see here that there are no pages with prayer shawl as the title, but I do have in my 2026 inbox. And when I click on my 2026 inbox, you see right down here, it has highlighted the word shawl, and prayer shawl, saying this is where you want to go. So it finds it specifically on that page, not just, well, it's on this page somewhere. It actually highlights it for you, okay? And that's one of the reasons that I tend not to use yellow as a highlighter, because I know if I'm searching for something that it will come up in that yellow search, highlighting, okay? All right, so anyway, I think that's pretty great. I love the search feature here on OneNote. Okay, so I've taken a look at everything here. I've taken a look at everything on my dashboard, and I don't really see anything that is missing. My meal planning page, I don't need anything from that because, as you can see, I've already planned my meals. Tonight we're having non-garlic bread pizzas, which, you know, they're little non-breads are about that big. So it's like a little personal pizza. I really love those. And the rest of my meals are planned. We've got some leftover white chicken chili. We've got spaghetti, and that's not supposed to be spaghetti 2 or 3 nights. Those are just ones that I haven't filled in yet. We do have a roast beef sandwich there. And Saturday night we are going, or Sunday night we are going out to dinner. So there you go. So that leaves Saturday night for spaghetti. Okay. All right, so the meal planning's done. Now I don't have to think about anything. My week is set. I know what I'm having for dinner. I know what my appointments are. I went through everything that needs to be done for this month and I added those to my calendar for this week so that I can get those things done. And then I'm going to do the yard sale on Saturday. Saturday night I'll be exhausted, and so my daughter can make spaghetti and that will work perfectly. And then I'm just going to relax on Sunday. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you kind of understand a little bit now how I use my dashboard page and my inbox to help me frame what I need to do during my weekly planning sessions. That works really well for me. And not only because it's the 5th week of the month, not only will I get everything done that I need to do for that week, but all the tasks that I need to do for the month will be wrapped up as well, okay? So you can kind of notice, and I don't think that I said this, but on my dashboard, you'll notice like I usually only give myself 4 financial tasks to do. That's one for each month. And I usually only give myself a couple of home maintenance issues to do, half of which are usually my husband's. And so I don't have a whole lot to do. I can just pick and choose between the things that need to get done to pull off to put on my weekly schedule. So I don't feel overwhelmed, but I don't feel like anything throughout the month is getting missed. Okay? All right. Well, I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, please leave a question down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. I know you guys have really been asking for some more how I'm using my planner on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and so that's what I'm trying to do for you guys. But if you have any other video requests, you can leave those down below too, and I'm happy to answer them. Until next time, here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning. I use OneNote. Until next time, okay, bye.